Good morning, everyone. Well, as you could see, I was going to talk to you guys outside, but they're plowing the fields out there. They harvested the soybean last week, and now they're tilling up the ground for next year. So, and as you could see, Rocky and Scout especially do not like the tractors back there. They bark and bark and bark at them. So I thought that would get quite annoying if I videotaped outside. So we came inside. Tucker's on my lap. There's Max there. He's still doing really good. We got Rocky eating a bone. Milo's watching him. Scout's watching him. They're waiting for him to be done with it so they can steal it. And then I think Magnum. Yeah, Magnum's in the chair there. And Marley's out there. I can't tell if you can see him. He's in the cat tree there because I got my hand in front of the camera trying to hold it. Hi, Tucker. You want to see the camera too? You want to see it too? Look at your crazy beard. Look at your crazy beard, little boy. Excuse me. What are you doing? You want to see the camera too, Scout? You want to see the camera too with your crazy beard? Yeah? So many of you have probably already know from my Facebook post and from our post here on YouTube that we had to say goodbye to Kitten. Last week was a week, guys. Let me tell you, it was a week. If you remember Marley, I had to take him in, was it Wednesday? Early Wednesday morning. He had started throwing up and having terrible diarrhea. So I had to take him into the vet. Had to get him on a antibiotic, which he's thankfully doing so much better now. So much better. He's finished with the antibiotic and doing great. And then Friday, it was like 1 a.m. Friday. Rocky started throwing up. And he had a little bit of soft poop. He wasn't having diarrhea. So I took in a poop sample just in case maybe he had what Marley had. Well, that didn't come back till Monday. He did not have what Marley had. And by the time the weekend was through and I had given him some anti-nausea medication, he was fine. His poops were back to normal. He's not been throwing up anymore. So he didn't have to go back to the vet, thankfully. Maybe he just ate something weird in the yard because you know my dogs are always eating something in the yard. And Milo Friday started shaking his head, itching at his right ear, hanging his head to the right, and he had an ear infection, so had to start with antibiotics for his ear, ointment to put in his ear. Thankfully, I didn't have to take him to the vet. My husband just called, told them what was going on, and they just let us come pick up a prescription. They know that I know when my boys have an ear infection, and Milo's the one with the terrible allergies, so they just prescribed it for him, and he's doing better, thankfully. Well, also towards, I can't remember if it was I think it was about the middle of the week too, last week, I noticed Kitten wasn't finishing his breakfast or his dinner. He was leaving about maybe a fourth of his food and not eating it all. And so I kind of Googled it, and Google said, well, when cats are older, which Kitten was 19 years old, when they get older, because they're not doing much anymore, which Kitten wasn't, he slept most of the day, their appetite decreases. So I thought, well, maybe that's just what's going on with him. His weight seemed fine. He wasn't losing weight. He was still drinking normally, still going potty normally. So I just thought, well, maybe it's because he's not as active anymore. He's sleeping a lot because he was an old man. Let me see what they're. was going to see if they were going to continue barking or what. I think there's a SQ out there. Not sure. Something's out there. No one's in my driveway, though. So, yeah, and then I noticed as the days went on, he was eating less and less. He got to, on the weekend, where he was only eating like a quarter of his food. And I was trying other things to give him. And then by Monday morning, he wasn't eating anything. He refused his breakfast. He refused his dinner. And, excuse me. Let me get a drink here. And Monday, Dr. Swannebeck had called me about Rocky's test for his poop that I had taken in Friday. So once she was done talking to me about Marley and Rocky and their issues, I asked her, because Kitten had an appointment for the 21st of this month for a physical exam, his yearly physical exam. And I told her, I said, I need to talk to you about my cat if I could. And she said, sure. So I mentioned his upcoming appointment. And I said, but this morning I said he's slowly been not wanting to eat. It's slowly dwindled down to where now he's completely refusing food. And I had also noticed Monday he didn't really want to drink water either. And she said, no, let's get him in sooner. I don't think we should wait till the 21st. She said, call back to the front desk. And she said, if they tell you there's nothing available, tell them I said, put you in a red slot. They'll know what I mean. So that must be like an emergency appointment. I don't know. So I told them that, and they scheduled us for 9:30 Tuesday morning. Tuesday morning, he didn't want to eat anymore, any of his food. I even tried rotisserie chicken. Sunday evening, I was looking on Amazon, and they had a high-calorie food supplement for cats who are sick to help them get extra calories. I had ordered that. He wanted nothing to do with that. Nothing. And as I was doing all this, trying to get him to eat, I had flashbacks of Miggy and Mozzie when they were refusing food. And I knew it wasn't good. And we could tell his breathing was kind of funny too. Sometimes it wouldn't be. And then it would be. It was weird. Hold on, guys. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to compose myself. I really don't want to cry throughout this video. I could tell, I think I was talking about his breathing. So I could tell last week, like on Thursday, he was kind of laying on his side. He was down here, and it seemed like he was breathing kind of funny. So I told my husband, and my daughter came over, and they're like, I think he looks fine. I don't think he's breathing funny. And I thought, well, maybe because he's not eating all his dinner and breakfast, maybe I'm just reading too much into this. And that was when I had noticed not wanting to eat all his food. So I didn't think much of it, because I thought maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just seeing things. I don't know. But I knew I wasn't, because I'm with these animals all day long. I just know them. I didn't want to tell them you're wrong, my husband and my daughter. And maybe they didn't see it like I did. I don't know. They don't watch them like I do. So, but then, like I said, he would seem to be breathing normal. But by the weekend and Monday especially, you could hear this kind of like, we thought maybe he had an upper respiratory infection, but he didn't. I don't know if I want it, kind of like a raspiness. I don't know how to explain it. So long story short, we took him in Tuesday morning, my husband and I. And at first she listened to his heart. She listened to his breathing. She said, yes, there's a raspiness there. But nothing like, it wasn't an upper respiratory infection or anything like that. He did have a slight heart murmur. And I knew this from his last year's appointment. But it hadn't progressed. It was still very, I think it was a 2 out of 6 or something like that. So it hadn't progressed. He did have kidney disease. We knew this for the past couple years now. She said, well, you know what? This could be constipation. Cats with, look at him. Look at Magnum. Being so bossy. Being so bossy. Magnum, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, Magnum? What's your... A lot of cats with kidney disease, and especially the last time Kitten had a urine test, it was very diluted to where he's drinking the water. This is how I'm pretty sure she explained it to me. He's drinking the water, but a lot of it's just getting peed out, and it's not getting into the body tissues and all that. So they see with cats who have kidney disease, constipation. She said it could be that. So she said, because Kitten's very ornery at the vet, especially in his older years, she said, let's get him sedated. Let's take an x-ray. Let's see if he's constipated. And while he's under sedation, we will give him an enema if that's what's going on. They also did blood work while he was sedated, check his kidneys, check everything. His kidney disease had progressed a little, but nothing serious. So she called me back a couple hours later. We left so they could do what they had to do. And, of course, the x-ray showed his heart was very enlarged. His one lung was, they couldn't tell if it was like partially collapsed or if there was a mass. She asked if we wanted to send the x-ray off to I don't remember what they're called, radiologist. It would have cost an extra $250 to do that. But you could tell something was definitely wrong with his one lung. And it was like leaking air out. She showed us on the x-ray. So because that was happening with his lung, he wasn't getting air in good. So she explained it like he was gulping air. So then that was filling up his stomach to make it like a balloon. Hold on. Okay. It's very hard to talk about. So there was a ton of air in his stomach, his intestines, and I'm sure it was very uncomfortable for him. But he didn't act in pain. He was still so loving even towards the end. Just wanting us to love on him and purring, and that's why it was hard to, we thought he still acted normal in that way, but dogs and cats don't like to show us that they're hurting. But I knew something was wrong too because he was kind of hiding upstairs. Anyways, so they told us we could try to treat his heart, but it would destroy his kidneys with the medication because of his kidney disease. We could try to help the kidneys, but it would destroy his heart. It was no good outcome. And even if we tried anything, it may only be days to a week that we could help him. So So we had to say goodbye. And it was hard. Kitten has been with us for 19 years. Since he was a baby. He was so little. We had to bottle feed him. I've told the story about how my stepdad found Kitten, his brother, and his sister in his ditch. One day when he was out doing yard work, he heard him meowing. And if I remember right, I don't even think their eyes were open yet. He waited to see if a mama cat was coming, like moving them, but a mama cat never came. And so my mom started with taking care of them, and we were in the process of packing up and getting ready to move to Tennessee. And this was a couple weeks after my mom was taking care of all the kitties. And I think my husband knew how hard it was for me to move to Tennessee away from family. And he let me, he said, you can have one of the kitties. We'll take one of the kitties with us. And we picked out Kitten, whose name was Truman, but he never knew his name. He was always Kitty or Kitten. And so we took him, we packed up, and we moved to Tennessee. And at that time, we had two other kitties, Bandit and Smoker. We had our dog Ginger. Then we had Kitten with us. And I believe my daughter still had her guinea pig at the time. So we had all these animals with us moving to Tennessee. My husband had the dog, Ginger, in the U-Haul truck with my son. And I was driving our van with all the other animals. And we'd have to stop. And, we'd have to stop, use the bathroom, whatever. And we had kitten formula with us, and we'd bottle feed him. He was even so little that you had to help the mama kitten, or the mamas help the kittens, help stimulate them to use the bathroom. So we had to help Kitten by going, stimulating him. Like, it's hard to describe, to help him go potty. So all the way down to Tennessee, it was like a 10 or 11 hour drive with this baby kitty. And I remember going to the rest stops because we'd have to get warm water to mix for the formula, and the people being so amazed at him because he was so little and they thought he was so cute. They'd see us bottle feeding him. We'd sit on the bench outside when we'd stop at the rest area. Oh. Sorry, I have to keep pausing the video. But I was thinking about going through all my photos, trying to find the pictures I have of him, because I know I have some actual printed copies of photos of him when he was little. But once you start going through old photos, when you're already emotional, everything else makes it even worse. You start getting emotional about everything. At least I do. I start getting emotional about the pictures of my kids when they were little, and just, oh, yeah, so I can't do that right now. Maybe in the future I can go through and find some pictures of when he was little. Anyways, so we've had Kitten quite literally almost 19 years. Just a little baby kitty. My daughter was starting 5th grade. My son was starting 1st grade when we moved to Tennessee and brought Kitten with us. So my daughter is now 29 and my son is 25. It's a long time. So we're going to miss him terribly. Terribly. So I just wanted to hop on and let you know what's been going on. Like I said, Rocky and Marley are doing great now. Max is still doing good. I did order him some runners for outside on the Amazon. I did get one in. I'm waiting on the others. And it's working out better than those utility mats. I put those utility mats by my husband's door to his shed. They were slipping, and I think it's funny because they were pretty heavy, but they were kind of slipping around a little. He's very much has more confidence with the runner I have out there now. Maybe I'll take you out there and show it to you later. But he likes that runner better too. Oh, Jason Tucker. He said, "Don't challenge me, Tucker. I'm the old man around here. You don't challenge me." He's doing good though too. Milo, his ear's getting better. I cleaned it today with some ear cleaner, and it's getting better. Still got to put the ointment in for a couple more days. Yeah, what a week it's been this past week. A little more than a week now, with everything that was going on. Somebody asked in the comments. Somebody asked in the comments how Merlin's doing. Merlin's over here. He's on the kitty tree there. He's doing good. I noticed when Kitten was this past weekend, I noticed that Merlin was hanging with Kitten more. He was hanging upstairs because Kitten was kind of always upstairs lately because of the puppies. And he'd sleep upstairs a lot, and Merlin was hanging with him more. So I think Merlin knew something was wrong too. And I have noticed that he has I could tell he's kind of wondered where he was. Especially yesterday. What was yesterday? I don't even know what day it is. Today's Thursday. So that evening, Tuesday evening and yesterday, I noticed I could tell in his eyes he was kind of thinking, where's Kitten at? Where's my buddy? But he's doing okay. He's doing okay. So I bought him some toys and some treats and put a fresh new blanket up there because there's a bed up there under a window they'd like to lay on and look out the window, and trying to give him some extra attention. What you doing, Max? Look at that face. What you doing, Max? Haven't brushed their face yet. The grass has been really wet in the morning. No. In the fall, the grass is always wet in the morning, and they always got their nose to the ground, so their beards get crazy. They're always wet and crazy. Yes, they're always wet and crazy. We got to brush them. Summertime is not too bad. It was really dry summer, so their beards didn't get too crazy, but now they are. So we got to brush them every morning. All right, guys. Actually, let me pause the video and I'll take you and show you the runner I ordered. See, he just came right out. He likes this runner. I don't know if anybody else wants out. Don't look like it. So, got this runner on Amazon. It's a 2 by 6, 2 foot by 6 foot runner. So I ordered this one for here. And this one, even though it's thinner, I don't know if it's the backing on it or what, but it doesn't move around like those 2 utility mats I bought. So, oh, here's Milo. So, got this one for here, and then I ordered a 2 foot by 11 foot one for here, and a 2 foot by 11 foot one for over here. So, that'll help them out a lot. And they weren't terribly expensive. I think I spent, $130 for all 3. I can't remember, but it's worth it. It's worth it for Max to not feel kind of nervous about sliding and losing his balance. It's worth it to me. So yeah, they're really nice. So I'll link one of the sizes down below in case anybody wants to check them out. This one's been working great. So I've got to wait till this one came like the next day, but I think maybe because the other ones were bigger, I had to wait. I think they're shipped, but I think it said the 22nd. And what's today? Is today the 15th, 16th? I don't even know what today is, guys. I have no idea. But they should be here soon. So hopefully before we start getting freezing temps, they'll be here. It's getting close to it, though. It's only like 47 right now today. Yeah. And the pool is all closed up for the winter. So sad. So sad. But something to look forward to, right? All right, guys. I'm going to get going. Oh, I want to say thank you to someone. Hold on. I wanted to say thank you to Lacey for the Halloween card. Look how cute that is. Thank you so much, Lacey. Let's go see if I don't think Marley went out. Let's go see if Marley wants to go outside. I think he's still in the cat tree. Yep, he's still in the cat tree. People are amazed that he jumps up there, but he does. He jumps up there and gets down all by himself. He can't. Like I said, everybody knows now, probably that's been a subscriber for a while. He is pretty much deaf. He can, like, if I clap my hands really close to his ear, he'll hear that. Oh, did you notice me? Did you notice me, Marley? But he pretty much can't hear anything anymore. So whenever he's sleeping, I come up and I just kind of softly rub his head so I don't startle him too much. And then I got to kind of go like this, like, this is, do you want to go outside? We'll see if he jumps down. Yep. He says, yep, I'll go outside. I'll go outside. So I got to do hand movements to him. Got to do the hand movements. Here he comes. He's behind me. You ready to go out? It's a little chilly still, but the sun's hopefully will warm it up. Hopefully the sun will warm it up for you today. Look at them over there by the fence. I'm waiting for squirrels in the trees. Now that the leaves are thinning out, especially Scout and Tucker, they're becoming pretty good squirrel hunters. They can see in the trees a little bit better, so they're not as full. I mean, they haven't lost that many leaves, but they're coming down. I'll be gone eventually. All right, guys. Talk to you guys again soon. Thanks for all the sweet messages about Kitten. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.